Hey guys, and welcome to Ask Allie, your place for spiritual advice for busy people. Ask Allie is the longest running spiritual podcast on iTunes, helping others since 2005. You can catch the podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, True FM, Google Play, along with watching it on YouTube. Today is Monday, August 27, 2018. I want to thank you for joining me and giving me a listen to. If you'd like to get a reading, have your energy balanced, find out more about me, or support the podcast, I'll leave the information below in the show's notes. And don't forget, if you like this episode, please rate it. The 777 Institute, we're launching on September 9th. Mercury's direct, Mars went direct. Now we're just waiting on, who we're waiting on? Saturn. Saturn to go direct. We're getting there, so if you would like to be an instructor, you still have time to get in, and you still have time even after it opens. This is a soft launch. This is why there's special pricing for everyone, for people to instruct and share their gifts, and for me to be able to iron out the kinks before the great big launch in either October or November. We'll see how many kinks we've got. You know what I mean? So if this is something you're interested in, please get a hold of me, info@777institute.com. Absolutely nobody took me up on the OBE beta. So I'm just going to say that's nil and void, and I'm not going to do it again. Over the years, I have tried to figure out what the OBE audience wants, and I still can't figure it out because everything I try to put out there, nobody wants it. So I will think of something else and put that out there, but I will not be offering group courses or coaching. That's a definite no-go. After trying several times to get something going, it just doesn't seem like anybody who goes to the OBE website wants that, so I'm not doing it anymore. What else is going on? Can't think of anything. I'm sure as I'm talking, something else will pop up. You know what I mean? So let's go to the Oracle card overview for the week of August 27, 2018. Again, this is an overview, which means every card picked doesn't necessarily correspond with everybody who's listening/watching. And Felix, do not sit on my mouse. All right, guys. And this week I'm using the Gateway Oracle cards by Denise Lynn. Let's see. Why are you sitting on my mouse? I would take the camera down and show you Felix, who's, right here next to me. But the camera's been acting wonky. It's like, Ohio's having more 90-plus degree temperatures for the next several days, and I'm just not happy, despite the fact we have an air conditioner who, by now, has little mice running around inside of it trying to keep it going. That's what it's been like. I can't even get over how hot it's been. I do prefer colder weather because I can always add clothes, but there's only so much I can take off. You know what I mean? All right, so overview for this week. You're looking pathetic, kitty cat. We have card number 1. We have card number 2. And how about card number 3? Alrighty. Let's put this there, like that. Let's see what we got going here. These all kind of roll, again, they all kind of roll into one another, but they can be taken individually as well. So the first one, guys, is communicating freely. See that? Communicating freely. I communicate from the depth of my being. So this is a good week for you to, especially since, Mercury's no longer in retrograde, to speak up. If you need to tell somebody something, tell them. If someone does you wrong or someone takes credit for something that they shouldn't, speak up. You need to speak up for yourselves. We all need to speak up for ourselves. We all need to speak our truths. This is a good week to do such a thing. The second card is manifesting dreams. My dreams are coming true. So guys, what have you been working on? What have you been thinking about? Wherever we've put our energy, whether it's to get something off the ground or worry about something, if you got that worry and that script that never ends in your brain, well, guess what you're going to be manifesting? If all your energy's been going into that worn out script, the worn out script's going to come true. If you've been working towards manifesting your dreams, manifesting yourself moving forward in a positive way, then you should see some fruits of your labor this week. I personally think the fruits of the labor, much better thing. It could be just me. And then last but certainly not least, we have flying free. See that? I unfurl my wings and fly. And it's all about, just letting go and going forward. And if you communicate freely, if you manifest your dreams, you're going to end up flying free. Without the constraints, without trying to live up to somebody else's expectations, to living somebody else's life, which is what you're doing if you're not manifesting your own dreams and not going towards what you want. You are living your life for somebody else. And I can understand to a point, we do live our lives for other people, like myself. I'm the first to admit that I am still here in the Worcester-Shreve area because of my son. If there was no son, they're going to start barking. Here we go. Hey people, the hays for the fields. Well, that was impressive. I guess he decided to not communicate freely. That's a good thing. But if you, like myself, okay, I'm here in the Worcester-Shreve area because of my son. I do not want to live here. I have made that very vocal and very well known for a long, long time. And he graduates next year, and he's going off to the Air Force, so there is nothing to keep me from leaving, except for me at that point in time. But up until then, I have been living part of my life in regards to my son, being here for him. So there are people who do that. I'm one of them, but I have not constructed my entire life around him. And a lot of people do that. Their entire life is built around what other people want them to do. So this week, you're going to be able to communicate freely, get things off your chest, stand up for yourself. You're going to be able to manifest what you've been putting your thoughts and your energy towards. And last but not least, we have flying free. So notice we got two frees. We got communicate free and flying free. And manifesting. Those three things together, I'm telling you, that's pretty darn good. That's a good week as long as we, don't get so hung up. Get hung up in things. As humans, I read this someplace, or maybe I saw a TED Talk on it. Maybe both. But we're wired as human beings to think the worst. We are wired to think, oh crap, most of the time. And because we're wired like that, it's much easier for us to think, horrible poo-poo thoughts, as opposed to being optimistic and looking forward to something. And they say we're mostly easier to be doom and gloom because of our survival, because we want to survive, we want to move forward. And to be doom and gloom, we're always trying to think of a way, to keep our enemies away from us and to move forward. That's what the experts say. I don't know. Not an expert in that. But despite that, the topic I would like to discuss today is 5 steps to find more time. I don't know about you, but I say that a lot. I don't have the time. It's like I came up with 3 kick-butt movie ideas over the weekend. 3. And I looked at them like, what are you doing? You don't have the time to write this. Why? Why don't I have the time? it really does make no sense that I don't have the time. Yes, I have a lot going on, but I don't have a social life. I'm not dating. See, I'm saving time there. So I don't know. What about you? Other things you want to do, but you tell yourself or tell somebody else, I don't have the time. I know you guys have said it at least once. At least once to somebody you've said that. So what is it with us not having the time to do stuff when other people seem to be able to do stuff all the time? They have 24 hours in a day. We have 24 hours in a day. We all have the same time to work, to eat, to sleep, to have sex, to have a social life, to build a business, to exercise, to be creative. We all have the same 24 hours. So why do some people get stuff done and other people do not? Well, it's not that big of a mystery. You might think it is, but it's not. There are five steps for you to be able to figure out how to find more time. 1, write down the things you like to do, but right now just don't have the time. What is it you would like to do, but do not have enough time? Write it down. Piece of paper and a pen, write it on your computer, put it on an app. I don't care where you write it. Just write it down. Okay? 2. Now this is going to take a little bit of work, number 2, but it'll be worth it. Keep a log of your day, every day for at least a week. Either paper and pen, computer, Evernote. I like Evernote. We do this when we're trying to lose weight. We track what we eat. We do this when we're trying to develop a budget, find out where our money goes. We write down what we spend. So write down what you're doing with your time. Keep track of your time. Are you driving from point A to point B? Write that down. Are you working from what time to what time? Write that down. Are you coming home to make dinner? Write it down. Are you watching TV? Write it down. Are you having sex with your spouse? Write it down. Write it all down. Okay? Keep a record of your time for at least a week. Number 3. Now, after that week is up, look back at the log and see what things you don't necessarily have to do. What are things you don't really have to do? You want to put an X next to those items. Like for me, if I look back on my week, what are things that I really don't have to do? Well, I don't have to watch Netflix. I don't have to watch Amazon Prime. I don't have to watch any of the streaming. I don't have to watch any of that. I don't have to. My life will not end if I don't watch that. Right? So those I can put big old X's next to. Now, looking at that same log for number 4, look at places where you can multitask. And you want to circle those items. Like for me, when I take a field trip. I can multitask because I drive, I let the kids off, I sit and wait till they're done, the kids get back on, we drive back. Okay? So as I'm sitting, not as I'm driving, I can multitask. So I can circle that on my log. Anytime I get a field trip, I can circle it. Okay? Now, number 5. Refer back to the list of things from number 1 that you'd like to get done. Put them on your calendar in the areas where previously you had something where you had an X. So say I put an X next to Netflix and I streamed from the hours of 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. I'd eat my breakfast, I get caught up in my shows. That's when I stream. So I had an X next to Netflix from 9 to 11 a.m. On my calendar from 9 to 11 a.m. instead of streaming during that time, I put something else like, I don't know, writing. What a concept. So I put writing in. Actually, I'll probably put the 777 Institute in there. But I could also put writing. Okay? That's what I will put in those spots. Or I could put doing readings. Or I could put going on keen. Something in that time slot. Okay? I can do the 7-7 Institute and keen. Because if I go back for the multitasking, I can have Keen on and work on the 7-7 Institutes. Those things are circles. Those are multitasks. I can put those two things in the same spot. When I'm on field trips, the things I had circled for multitasking. When the kids are off doing their thing and I'm sitting there on the bus, I can get out my tablet and I can write. That's something that I can do very easily with my little tablet. It has a little keyboard with it. There's no reason not to. Okay? When you are switching things up, when you are putting the things that you want to get done into the areas that you have now freed up. Smoky quartz, the stone, helps to increase your clarity and concentration while also maintaining a positive train of thought. So it can help you X things out, circle things, take stuff out, put stuff in. Okay? It helps to dissolve anxiety. Some people get real anxious when their schedule changes, when they change things up, and increases your focus. And using the smoky quartz, no matter what, helps to protect you from that illogical train, that script that goes through your head that I was talking about earlier. It helps you to X that out as well. Okay, so recap. 1, write down the things you want to do. 2, keep a log of your day every day for at least a week. 3, after the week is up, look back at your log and see the things you don't necessarily have to do, like streaming services. Put an X next to those. Or if you want to still watch streaming, that's fine, but instead of, say, I can do it for 1 hour or 30 minutes instead of 2 hours, right? 4, look where you can multitask. Circle those. 5, refer back to the things you'd like to get done. Put them on your calendar in the areas where you have an X for wasting time and circles for multitasking when you can. A smoky quartz can help you go through all of this and get it all done. All right? All right. So I want to thank you for joining me here at Ask Allie. If you like this episode, please rate it and tell your friends. The more people who listen, the more people hopefully I can help have their aha moments. Join me on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, and you can find this at AskAlliePodcast.com or at OutOfBodyEcstasy.com. You guys have yourself a fabulous week, and I will catch you next Monday, September 3rd on Labor Day. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.